Hello. So last time we talked about airports. Today I would like to talk about private private property, specifically clubs and bars, but other types of private property as well. Do you have protections against um, under the Fourth Amendment against unreasonable searches and seizures? My name's Brian L. Jackson. I am a Tulsa attorney, and this is Oklahoma law made simple. And I would very much, and I want to talk to you today about the issue of searches and seizures as a condition of entry onto private property. Um, as a starting point, that is an exception under federal constitutional law to the usual rules requiring probable cause for a search or seizure under the Fourth Amendment. It is the businesses can, as long as there isn't a state statutory law that prohibits it, or it doesn't violate some other federal statutory law that is not constitutional. They can search you to be as a condition of entering that business. And where you see this frequently is at clubs and bars. You do get some areas where there's a club or a bar that has had some problems with people bringing weapons in or drugs, and they search patrons on the way in. This is in Oklahoma. That's 100% legal. Now that doesn't mean that they can be inappropriate about it. It doesn't mean they can touch your genitals or grab your ass, or for any women who are watching this, touch your breasts. But it means they get to search you, and that is legal. Also, something else to be aware of. Again, if you're talking private security, the Fourth Amendment does not apply to private security because they're private security. They're not a government actor. The exception is obviously either if they are deputized and they are acting within the scope of their deputized authority, or if they were specifically directed to do something by a government actor. So if, like, the cops say to the bouncer, search that guy, then they need probable cause. And then rules like Terry come into play, and that's Terry stop is something we'll talk about in a future video. But those rules would apply under those circumstances. But if the bouncer takes it upon themselves to search pockets because they think you've been passing out pills in the club, or because they're concerned you have a weapon, you do not have protection under the Fourth Amendment. Now, you may have other recourse if they're unreasonable. They don't get to just put their hands on you. That could be a civil battery. It could be a crime. But it still has to be reasonable. But they can certainly make you empty your pockets as a condition of coming into that club. And if you refuse, then you could be denied entry. Now, the solution in the situation is, if you know you have something on you that you shouldn't, then don't go in there. If they ask to search you, you leave. In most situations, they will not try to detain you, and generally speaking, they can't detain you. If you walk up to the door, they say, well, I want you to empty your pockets, and you say, no, thank you, and walk away. There's no lawful reason I'm aware of why they could detain you. If they tried, it would be false imprisonment. And most likely they won't, because they've got better things to do. And they're not going to be interested in trying to jam you up for a crime unless it's because it's dropped right in their lap. But that's something to be aware of, is they can search you. And if they find something, they will most likely turn it over to law enforcement. And that's 100% admissible in court. So, if you are carrying things that you shouldn't be, do not go through those security checkpoints, because don't do it at the club, don't do it at the courthouse, don't do it at the airport, or any place else where there's such a point, because you will be caught. And it will be admissible in court. If you know you have something, walk away. Ideally, you shouldn't have anything on you, but if you do, you take your freedom in your own hands when you walk through one of those checkpoints. If you have questions about that, or you've been involved in a situation and you need help, I am an attorney with the firm of Fry and Elder. I can be reached at 918-585-1107 for anybody with an issue in Oklahoma. And I'd be happy to help you out. If I don't know the answer, I'm happy to look it up. Thanks, guys.